user-centered analysis of the method. So we focus on a developer experience, especially on security. And we have to know where about the developers. One of the characteristics of developer is reusing code because it makes it able to reduce code cost and time needed to develop. But it could be a very serious problem because when the code included vulnerabilities reuse. So we've solved the problem through the vulnerable code detection, and people start with what is code clone? Code clone means duplicated code fragments. It mainly caused by code reuse and propagate vulnerabilities. So there are some smart contracts have been duplicated over many times. So the assumption of vulnerable code clone detection is that like vulnerable code B existed in program P1. If program P2 also have same code B, there is high probability that program P2 may also be vulnerable. The architecture. From security patch, we escaped all vulnerable code and store them on our database. Based on the database, we can conduct code clone detection and discover vulnerable code on target source code. Here are some real-world cases. Before conducting code clone detection, we have to do processing of code for detecting slightly modified code clones. It supports encryption to ensure code privacy, and also supports suggest how to you have your patch. And it is very fast, just in 0.52 seconds, it can analyze 1K line of code. And it also supports EOS. So based on that technology, we can deliver more meaningful information to the developer. So now we are developing Linux plugin. In addition, Universe who utilize our analysis engine already implemented the Atom plugin. You can also use it on GitHub. We already uploaded. And please refer the vulnerable smart contract. Then let's move on to the compliance, AML. The issue recently we take care is money laundering. Most companies that consider the introduction of the blockchain hesitate because of the AML compliance risk. It is widespread fact that Bitcoin has been used very much in money laundering. But according to our research, not only Bitcoin versus Ethereum are used for money laundering very much. In the case of Bitcoin, there are many researches existing, but they can't apply to Ethereum as they are. So we applied various technology to monitoring and detecting the money laundering flow in Ethereum. The first technology is clustering. There are to make difficult tracking the flow of money laundering in Ethereum. There are two complex and mixed transactions. So by clustering, we can easy to understand the relationships between the accounts. And there are too many different channels, so we automated the data collective process. As a result, so databases size 20 times bigger than the public data. At that point, you can wonder about what if your database misses target address, and we can calculate the reliability of arbitrary accounts by using machine learning-based analyzer. And another question can be, what about newly created address? And then in that case, pattern-based analyzer could be the answer. The picture is the result that we analyze transaction flow of one case, which turned out as fraud. And you can see there are some patterns. As a result, we can alert users who try to send cryptic asset to suspicious account. Through this various technology, we try to make and be Ethereum world. So actually, Consensus is one of our investors, and Jisoo Park, CEO of Sooho, is now discussing to apply our technology to Consensus mesh. We were Sooho, and we are together with those. And as I mentioned before, we want to contribute to construct a healthy Ethereum ecosystem as much as we can. So if there are any projects good for society, please contact us and we will provide the free security audit. And this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. And if you have any questions.
I heard that the Sooho is recently selected one of the consensus incubating program, right? Congratulations. Then, like other parts, we're gonna get some feedback from Vitalik, and then we're gonna get some questions from the audience.
So for the part of this that has to do with like checking smart contract code, like what you're basically doing is kind of like compressing code to kind of take out like aesthetic details that don't really matter, and then just checking it against databases of existing code that's known to have bugs, right?
Pardon?
So like the idea is that you're trying to kind of check code against a database of like other code that is known to have bugs in it.
Yes.
Is that it, or is there something else that you're doing?
First we are doing now security audit manually. Yeah.
Okay, so like this would be one part of the thing that you
yes.
audit. Like what other things do you do that go into the audits?
What?
Yeah, like what are the like other parts of like what you do for a security audit?
Server, I can understand.
Okay. No, I guess I'm just like trying to understand like for smart contract security. Like, what things are you kind of doing other than like checking contracts against like databases of code of that code?
Oh, and we provide how to fetch, so a developer can revise their code based on that.
Okay, but this is still like this is just you doing this manually, right?
No.
Or it's
by comparing patch DB and signature DB, we provide the patch method automatically.
Okay, that's interesting. For this AML like compliance service, so the idea is that you're just trying to like identify suspicious like Ethereum addresses. Is that it? Is there something else?
Yes.
Yes. So just like identifying suspicious addresses.
Yes.
And like for the use case of say like sending money to a scammer, like, scammers would probably just give you a fresh address that's not connected to anything.
Oh yes. So weaker such address is carrying address, and they are not malicious, but we see they are great because they deliver their money to just to malicious account, and we saw they are great. We think they are great, and we collect all of the account information, and based on the information, we're tracking all of the money laundering flow.
Right. And I get that, but I guess like in terms of like who are the expected customers of this, right? Because like the one use case that I saw, which is like checking if this is this person a scammer, that's not something that you can really check by looking at their address, because they can just give you a new address. Like
yes. So at that time, I think the pattern-based analyzer could be answered because.
But like if a scammer gives you a new address to send money to them, like that address is not going to be it's not going to have connections to any other address.
Oh, but we assume that eventually the scammer tried to transaction with the new account, so
like after they collect money from you.
Yes.
So this seems like it would be something more useful for like exchanges or law enforcement, rather than like after the fact, rather than people before like trying to not send money before the fact. So like it's more about kind of catching people after a scam rather than preventing them.
Oh, okay.
And, like it feels like it would be more useful for that, because like identifying if someone is trustworthy seems like a problem where the most useful information is probably information that's not on the chain, right? Like information.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we try to think how we can integrate off-chain data and on-chain data, but it's very difficult, and there are some privacy issues, as you know. So we now just try to solve it. Yes.
Okay, any ideas from the audience?
My company is now developing. My company is now developing unlostable cryptocurrency wallet for Ethereum, and my company developer do not want to show smart contract code for anyone, but your company solution can do the compiled smart contract binary file, can check the bug or something problem, can find do.
Yes, I think in that case, we support the encryption function, so to ensure code privacy. So just if you give to us your code file encrypted, we can analyze this.
Thank you.
Do you guys have a plan for supporting Viper audits?
Viper audit?
Yeah.
No, we don't have.
Okay. Fine, then I'll use Manticore.
I haven't heard about the plan from my CEO, so sorry.
What if the WASM is implemented to the Ethereum 2.0? Then your solution still works. What if the WASM, the WASM execution model is implemented or implanted on the Ethereum 2.0, then your solution still works, or?
If you said about smart contract, automated analysis, it doesn't depend on a platform. It is independent in platform because the technology is just based on the like this one. There are any point that contract in platform just independent, so it is no problem. Yes, there are many questions.
I guess you said to ensure code privacy. If you're pushing the companies, sorry. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
If a company is pushing the code to you, is it encrypted only in transit, or is it encrypted within your database as it undergoes processing analysis?
Just encrypted and sent to us.
Just encrypted and sent. Then if it's just encrypted and sent, and therefore your engineering team can actually access the code, what mechanisms are in place? How can you protect code on your end?
We don't know about the full code, and we can't read the full code, but we can analyze this based on just a signature database. Here is the database also encrypted. Yeah, so we can know your full code.
Okay, thank you.